We're going to get the job done. We got to get moving.
No more questions for you, MAGA Mike. That was MAGA Mike leaving a disastrous meeting amongst the Republican House caucus. Here's how Jake Sherman reported on it. A House Republican just exited the party meeting about the reconciliation bill for their disastrous big, beautiful tax bill, as Donald Trump calls it, which will add like $4 to $5 trillion to the debt ceiling. This is what the MAGA Republican who left said, quote, "We are cooked. The speaker, MAGA Mike Johnson, let this get out of control. All things are falling apart right now." And the thing we're going to be looking at today is what's going to happen in the budget committee. Now, the Republican budget chair, Arrington, he claims that he has the votes for GOP's reconciliation bill today, but there are still 4 MAGA Republican holdouts who are saying they're going to vote no in the committee and try to kill Trump's bill in the committee, which would be a massive humiliation for MAGA Mike Johnson if that goes down today. They could sink it in committee before it goes to the full House vote. Here's what the House Budget GOP account is saying, quote, "We did the hard work of setting real targets to restore fiscal sanity, and I'm confident we'll have the votes in the Budget Committee tomorrow. The Republican conference is working in good faith through a few scoring and policy clarifications. With something this big and beautiful, you've got to get it right. Are you kidding me? You're going to be adding trillions of dollars to the deficit. You're going to be gutting people's Medicaid. You're taking away health care from tens of millions of people. You're taking away supplemental nutrition assistance program. You're getting rid of SNAP. You're getting rid of home assistance programs at HUD so that you can give trillions of dollars in tax cuts for the billionaires and decabillionaires. I mean, literally every one of Donald Trump's campaign lies are being exposed in real time. So here's one of the things that we're learning right now as of my recording this in the morning. So MAGA Republican Ralph Norman says he's going to vote against this reconciliation bill in the Budget Committee today. That's 2 no's, 1 more, and it doesn't even get out of budget. Now, Norman says Andrew Clyde is also a no. So if that's the case, this thing is in trouble in the Budget Committee itself, as Jake Sherman reports. Now, House Budget Committee member Ralph Norman, he says we got to delay this thing today because he goes, I ain't going to vote for it. I hope we delay it. That's my hope. We still got a spending problem. We got a massive deficit problem, and this doesn't address it. So we have a number of factions right now amongst the MAGA Republicans. You have the MAGA Republicans in New York who were promised that the state and local tax deduction, that the SALT caps would be totally eliminated. And the other MAGA Republicans are saying we're not going to eliminate the cap. We'll raise it a little bit, but we're not going to eliminate the cap. And these MAGA Republicans from New York and other East Coast areas that are really impacted by this, who are donor states, are saying, seriously, red states, you're screwing over our states. So you have that. Then you have the people who are pissed off that this is adding trillions and trillions of dollars to the deficit. It's the most fiscally irresponsible budget that there is right now. And so you have all of these factions developing. Here's what MAGA Republican Chip Roy is telling a reporter. Play this clip.
It's a broken system, and this bill doesn't make it better. It frankly arguably makes it worse, because the end result of what the Republicans are doing now is likely more expanded states, more socialized medicine, more deficits, and frankly, the vulnerable getting hurt at the expense of the able-bodied who should be working and who should be not getting more money than those who are vulnerable.
Yeah, and here's MAGA Republican Chip Roy again. They want to cut Medicaid. And so you have a bunch of other MAGA Republicans who are saying, we can't have the public appearance of being against Medicaid, so you have to help us hide it. And then you have the other MAGA Republicans like Chip Roy, like, screw Medicaid. Here, play this clip.
Bond markets are on a knife's edge. You know that, and I know that. And that is necessary for the free flow of capital to have that economic growth. If we continue to allow Medicaid to consume our budget and allow us to continue to drive that budget up so deficits go up, then we're not going to be able to achieve those objectives. Medicaid right now is now $1 trillion higher baseline than when we came in under Biden.
Now, the MAGA Republicans are letting it all slip. For example, MAGA Republican Jason Smith says, we're going to do Medicaid cuts. Medicaid reforms. Play this clip.
And then you can look at Medicaid cuts, the Medicaid reforms, I should say. These are all things that were right in the middle.
You have MAGA Republican Senator Bill Cassidy previously saying the same thing. He's like, we're going to do Medicaid cuts. Reform. Play this clip.
Well, let's look at Medicare. Is there some way that we can cut Medicare so that reform Medicare so that benefits stay the same, but that it's less expensive, more efficient? I would say that there is, and that's where our opportunity lies.
Okay, these guys are like the worst at hiding what their intentions are. Of course they're going to do Medicaid cuts. It's in the bill. Say goodbye to your health care. It's in the freaking bill. 98.9, The Word, broke news with Ralph Norman saying he was going to vote against it. Here's what Ralph Norman had to say. Play this clip.
Really, hold on just a sec. You said we're going to hold this thing up. Freedom Caucus is going to hold this thing up? Because you're breaking news right now.
Well, what we're going to do, if it ends up like I think it is, if they're not really, if they're delaying implementing a lot of these rules, we're going to vote against it. And
the Freedom Caucus?
Yes. And other members, not just us. I'm all ahead of budget. Jody Arrington has done a great job, but we got a meeting today. We're going to decide we either do what we say we're going to do, or we're just going to hold it up and sit up here and sit as long as it takes to get at least these menial things passed, and not 4 years down the road. What they're trying to do, Tara, is put it off, even on the illegals with Medicaid, put it off 4 years. Well, why 4 years? We can't bind another administration.
This is more from MAGA Mike Johnson as he left that disastrous meeting right here. He claims this big, beautiful bill is still on track, but I think it's going to be dead on arrival, at least in the Senate as well. Play this clip.
What do you say about the real deficit concerns among many of your members about this could lead to trillions more, maybe up to $5 trillion more to the deficit? If you do more on salt, it's only going to add more to it. How do you justify a bill that would add so much to the deficit?
If you do more on salt, you have to find more in savings. So these are the dials, the metaphorical dials I'm talking about. That's what is involved here. When you're trying to craft a piece of legislation that is this comprehensive and this complex, it requires a lot of thought and deliberation.
Now, I want you to see what's going on as well in the Senate, as I said, where you have MAGA Republican Rand Paul saying the Senate ain't voting for this. Let's be clear. I ain't voting for this. Play this clip.
Senator, what do you need to see in this bill to be on board?
The problem is it's asking conservatives like myself to raise the debt ceiling $5 trillion. That's historic. No one's ever raised the debt ceiling that much. It will be a record for Congress to raise the debt $5 trillion. But also it indicates that this year the deficit will be over $2 trillion, but it means they're anticipating close to $3 trillion for the next year. It's really a slap in the face that those of us who are excited about Elon Musk and Doge and all the cuts. Where are the cuts? If the cuts are real, why are we going to borrow $5 trillion? So what I proposed was this. I put forward a proposal and we voted on it to raise the debt ceiling for 3 months. Why? Because I think we should vote on the debt ceiling every 3 or 4 months to see if they're doing their job. If they promise us cuts in spending, not just the administration, I'm talking about congressional leaders as well. If the promises are real, I'll vote to raise it every 3 months.
And here's MAGA Republican Ron Johnson from Wisconsin. Here's Ron Johnson from Wisconsin saying the same thing. He's like, we're not going to vote for this in the Senate. I'm a no. This increases the deficit by trillions of dollars. Here, play this clip.
Can you see yourself voting for this big, beautiful bill at all?
Not in the current structure, no. Yeah, I refuse to vote for something that's going to actually increase the deficits, exacerbate the problem from the current situation. Again, we shouldn't be talking about this right now. We should have been doing all the work. Like I say, multi-step process. We'd already have the border funding. We'd have defense. We'd have $850 billion of real savings banked already. Plus, we could have extended current tax law, taken tax rate increase off the table. We could have had all that done, but unfortunately, decisions were made to do one big, beautiful bill. It's not beautiful. I'm sorry. It's not a big, beautiful bill. That's called rhetoric.
There's one thing
mislabeling.
There's one thing that,
and then so you can see like what's going on in the MAGA Republican caucus. They're making like diss tracks against each other, like hip hop diss tracks. So you've got MAGA Republican Congress member Max Miller mocking the MAGA Republicans in New York. And saying, "Oh, all you care about is eliminating the salt cap. And then they have like a photo of salt. It's like very bizarre. But here, play this clip.
Our friends from New York and California, it's not good enough for them yet. Only 10% of all filers throughout our country use salt. And this is nothing more than a bailout for the wealthy coastal elites on either side of the country, from colleagues from New York to California. Just say yes, and let's not hold up President Trump's agenda."
Well, we'll keep you posted every step of the way here. And the big question is, if this thing gets killed in the budget committee today and doesn't even get further than that, that'll be big, big news. And then I think we could be looking at a bye-bye MAGA Mike Johnson. See you later, MAGA Mike Johnson. Anyway, tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.